Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome to another lecture for anatomy. Today's topic is the deep perineal pouch. So let's see the details about the deep perineal pouch. First of all, the inferior boundary of the deep perineal pouch is the inferior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm or perineal membrane. So this point is very important. In every picture we have to find out the perineal membrane or urogenital diaphragm, and laterally it is up to the medial wall of the ischiorectal fossa. So medially we have to find out the medial wall of the ischiorectal fossa, which is the external anal sphincter. And here we can see superiorly urogenital diaphragm, and this lies beneath the levator ani muscle. So this boundary inferior fascia of urogenital diaphragm or perineal membrane, laterally up to the medial wall of the ischiorectal fossa, and superiorly it is superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm, which lies beneath the levator ani muscle. So here we can see, first of all, our function is find out the perineal membrane. So here we can see the perineal membrane. There, this is the perineal membrane. So above portion or deep to the perineal membrane, here this is the perineal membrane. So this area, this is the deep perineal pouch, and anterior to the perineal membrane there is superficial perineal pouch. So deep perineal pouch, superficial perineal pouch, and this is divided by only one structure, which is the perineal membrane. Here we can see this is the perineal membrane. So just behind or deep to the perineal membrane there is a space, which is the deep perineal pouch. Here we can see this is the deep perineal pouch. So deep perineal pouch lies in this area. So structure in this area, that means the deep to the perineal membrane or upper part of the perineal membrane, this is the deep perineal pouch, and content in the deep perineal pouch is also very important. So this picture also, here we can see, first of all we have to find out the perineal membrane. So this is the perineal membrane, and the structure which lies below or front, which is the superficial perineal pouch, and above it is the deep perineal pouch. So now I think it is clear, for any type of pouch, that means the superficial perineal pouch or deep perineal pouch, first of all we have to find out the perineal membrane. We have to find out the perineal membrane, and in front of it or below to each of the perineal membrane, this is the superficial perineal pouch, and deep, it is the deep perineal pouch. So now see the content of the deep perineal pouch. First of all, urethral sphincter. Urethral sphincter, it is located above the perineal membrane. So it is the content of the deep perineal pouch. And here we can see the transverse perineal muscle. The transverse perineal muscle, it also located deep to this perineal membrane. So it is also the content of the deep perineal pouch. Then here we can see the dorsal nerve of the penis, muscular branch of the perineal nerve, deep and dorsal artery of the penis, stem of origin of artery to bulb of the penis, and urethral artery. So they are the content of the deep perineal pouch. Again, urethral sphincter, transverse perineal muscle, dorsal nerve of the penis, muscular branch of the perineal nerve, deep and dorsal artery of the penis, stem of origin of bulb of the penis, and urethral artery. And here we can see the content. Again, the sphincter urethra, transverse perineal profunda or muscle, vessels, internal pudendal artery with its terminal three branches, which is the dorsal artery of the penis, deep artery of the penis, and artery to the bulb of the penis or bulb of the vestibule in case of female. And nerve, important nerve, which is the dorsal nerve of the penis or clitoris. So these are the content of the deep perineal pouch. Important muscle is sphincter urethra and transverse perineal muscle, vessels, dorsal artery of the penis, deep artery of the penis, and artery to the bulb of the penis or bulb of the vestibule, and nerve, dorsal nerve of the penis and clitoris. So here we can see this is the cut edge of the perineal membrane. Here we can see this is this whitish structure is the perineal membrane, and from here the perineal membrane is removed for washing the different structure present in the deep perineal pouch. So here, first of all, here we can see the dorsal artery of the nerve and penis. Here we can see this is the dorsal nerve and dorsal artery of the penis, and it is located deep to the perineal membrane. There we can see the deep artery of the penis. Here, this is the deep artery of the penis, and urethral artery. Here, this is the urethral artery, and these all are located deep to the this whitish structure, which is the perineal membrane. Then artery to the bulb of the penis. Here we can see this is the artery of the bulb of the penis, and also here we can see internal pudendal nerve and internal pudendal vessels. So here we can see internal pudendal artery and dorsal nerve of the penis. Actually, these are the branch from the internal pudendal nerve. Here we can see this is the branch from the internal pudendal nerve, and here this is the external urethral sphincter. So urethral sphincter, it is located deep to the perineal membrane, because this sphincter is very very important, and we don't want to any harm or any injury to the this external urethral sphincter. For this sphincter is protected under the perineal membrane. So this is in short about details uh, about the deep perineal pouch and their different content. And this picture, here we can see this whitish structure. This is the deep perineal pouch. Here we can see this is the this is the perineal membrane. This structure, this whitish structure, from here up to here, this is the perineal membrane. So from here up to here, this whitish structure is the perineal membrane, and deep to the perineal membrane, here we can see this is the muscular structure, which is the acts as a sphincter for the urethra, and it is known as the external urethral sphincter. And here again we can see this whitish structure. This is the perineal membrane. Other side it is removed to see the different structure or different content of the deep perineal pouch. Here we can see the dorsal nerve of the penis, dorsal artery of the penis. This is the muscle, which is the external urethral sphincter, and here we can see this is the muscle, which is the deep transverse perineal muscle, or this is the transverse perineal muscle, and here we can see the deep dorsal vein of the penis. So by watching this picture, we have to remember only one structure, which is the perineal membrane. We have to find the perineal membrane and the location of the perineal membrane, and after that it is very easy to identify all the structures located into the deep perineal pouch. So again, let's say again this content, because as it is very very important, muscle, sphincter urethra, and transverse perineal muscle, which are shown on the picture. Vessels, the branch of internal pudendal artery and its terminal branches, that means the deep artery of the penis, dorsal artery of the penis, artery to the bulb or bulb of the vestibule, and dorsal artery of the penis or clitoris. So they are the content of the deep perineal pouch. So it is in short about the deep perineal pouch. We have to remember only one structure, or we have to find out, we have to identify only one structure, which is the perineal membrane, and deep to the perineal membrane, the structure are known as the deep perineal pouch structure. Thank you all.